Yo, what's up? Dante here. In today's video, I will be doing a comic review. I'll be reviewing issue 1 of The Deadliest Bouquet, which is this right here. So it's basically you have Erica Schultz as script and letters, Carola Borelli is art, and Gab Contreras is on the colors. So this was a pickup that I got. If you saw my local comic book shop video, I picked this up along with another couple titles actually. I don't know. I like the cover. It looks cool. It's got blood, and anytime you put blood on a cover or a picture or some kind of cover or something like that, some stuff's about to go down. So yeah, definitely, I was definitely intrigued by this. I picked up the first 2 issues, so we're just gonna get into this one real quick. So essentially, this starts in 1998 in North Jersey. There's a girl. She's sitting in a flower shop. Her name is Rose, and it starts out she wants to call the police, but she changes her mind and decides to call her big sister Poppy, who is living in California. So she lives all the way across the country. And granted, this is 1998, so it ain't like travel has changed dramatically in those 25 years. Wow. So yeah, she calls her big sister. She's asleep obviously because of the time difference. And she's panicking, and she lets her know that her mom was dead. She went in to the flower shop. I'm assuming to open because it was 3 o'clock in California, so I guess 6 a.m. So I guess she went in to prepare to open for the day. Saw the mom was dead. So she gets up, and then obviously Rose is freaking out. It's understandable. She walked into the building. She didn't expect her mom to be on the floor covered in blood. And, then, Poppy gives her like the, I guess the, with 21 questions, like, did you tell the police? Did you call the police? I thought you were supposed to be taking care of her, stuff like that. And then she gets upset, and she because she feels like she's getting blamed. Because her Poppy's the older sister, and then there's a second sister that shows up named Violet, who's the youngest. Times got hard, and they kind of left home, and they just put everything on her shoulders. And she's feeling, like they not only did they abandon her, but they've laid all the responsibility on her shoulders. So her mom's name is Jasmine Hawthorne. The flower shop that she was in is owned by her, or was owned by her. It's called the I'm gonna butcher this. Les Choice Fleurs. I think that was horrendous, but if I'm translating that right, I think that means the 3 flowers. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So yeah, then you get into the backstory of the mom. There's a detective named Detective Bayani. He's the guy on the case, and so yeah. Then after that, they get there, and the sister Poppy, she shows up. She gets to what am I saying? She gets in, and then she finally sees her sisters in the back, and Rose is happy to see her. And then it's a lot of, at that point, it's a lot of like backstory. There's a scene. They all have particular nicknames. So Poppy is Princess Poppy. Then Rose is Responsible Rose, and then they call her Violet because she has a mean streak. And there's a scene that shows what happens with why she got that name, and just a lot of they trying to work out family issues. But there's a scene where uh, Violet's about to try to leave, but Rose stops her, and Rose stops her in a very particular way, which I'm assuming is a result of their upbringing. Um, because I feel like the mom has a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on that was in the mom's past, that they, I guess, inherited. So yeah, after that, they're still in the shop. The police are talking, and Poppy's husband and kids show up. This is also the first time that any of her sisters have met the kid. Um, so there's a scene about that. They meet the kids, and after that, they have a couple more scenes, and then there's a scene with her and the mom. Kind of telling her that you got to keep your family safe, and sometimes that means keeping secrets. And so yeah, after that, Poppy heads out to try to dig more into what's going on, why her mom was killed, who killed the mom, and then the other two go back to the family house, which is right next to the shop. Um, so this is really like some family owned business type stuff. So yeah, then when they get into the house, they have like they get to a point in the house, and it kind of triggers a memory, traumatic memory that happens to all three of them, all four of them actually. Um, and it ends off with Violet at a local pub, and she gets there, she overhears these dudes at a table talking about someone. They don't necessarily specify who they're talking about, but she takes it as they're talking about the mom. So it kind of ends off with like a almost an Assassin's Creed like a scene at the end, and then there you go. That's the end of issue 1. So what I liked about this issue, um, it's got a lot of characters. Well, not a lot of characters. It's got a lot of not what am I? It's got a lot of good characters that, in my opinion, like they all have different personalities. They all, but I think they all complement each other. Their personalities. It also helps that they're sisters, but they all have. At the end of the day, no matter what's going on, they still, I guess they still took, the mom's advice. You got to protect your family, sticking together type stuff. Um, so like I said, I like the cover. The cover is cool, and I like the art. Um, I guess I'll just show you a couple, like a scene or two. So this right here, like when it gets in detail on Violet, I actually like her. Right here. Yeah, I like that. Actually looks really good. Um, I'm not just saying that because she looks good. I mean, she looks good, but I mean they all look good. But she looks like I can tell they spent a lot more detail drawing her than anyone else. Like, I guess I'm trying to. I kind of looking back at this now. They really don't give the other sisters like any real like close up shots. Like like the only time that you actually see them up close is like at the beginning. But she's in a panic, and she's like, she's in mourning and sorrow. So they really, you can tell they really had who did the art. Corolla Borelli. You can tell she had a favorite character to draw, which is not a bad thing. There's a lot of that happens in a lot of books. You see it in anime, you see it in cartoons. There's always that one character that just has a little bit more detail than everyone else. You can tell that's the author's favorite character to draw. See, I like the motif of like they all have names related to flowers. Mom owned a flower shop called the Three Flowers, so it all connects. I like that. I like the mystery behind the mom because the mom, I feel like the mom has some insane. I feel like there's gonna be some insane flashbacks with the mom. Um, the only there's a couple things I didn't really care for. One is this is more of a nitpick, but it's like I guess it was a little too short. The way the episode, not the episode, the way the issue ends, it's kind of like it ends at like a part where it's like it's really about to pick up. Um, I guess that's to be expected because this comic is how long is it? How big is it? How long is this comic? So you got, let me see, let me count. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 22 pages if you separate front and back. So I guess that's standard for comics. I mean that's standard even in manga for like a manga chapter. That's usually a standard depending on the type of manga. But I don't know. I feel like it could have ended with something a little bit more I guess grandiose, if that be the word. And I also didn't. One other thing I didn't like, the dialogue was very, very. I don't know how to explain this. The dialogue is very. There's a very melodramatic overtone to the dialogue. It's very catty in some panels. I don't know. I guess that I don't know if that's just because they're sisters or what. Because like I don't know. It didn't feel like they were actually. It felt like they were having more of a cat fight, and not really a really deep, like serious discussion. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a bunch of. It felt like a bunch of really young girls having a dispute instead of grown adults having a serious discussion about a traumatic experience. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that was it. Was cause you read some of the bubbles and it's like so when you read it, there's certain words that are highlight that are in bold. Usually, when that means those words are meant to be more. They're meant to be more. They're what's the word? They're they are that text is meant to be read in a more like a higher tone, not necessarily a yelling tone, but more of a stronger tone of the sentence. And that was like that the way they wrote that was like in a lot of the bubbles, even when they had dialogue with each other. And I get it in some bubbles, but like it was like bubble after bubble after bubble, where they kept putting a lot of emphasis on very like there was always every bubble had an emphasis on one or two words in that sentence. And I don't know I was reading it to myself and I'm like, well, if you read it that way, it kind of changes the tone of it changes the tone of the dialogue, in my opinion. I can understand if every so often there, you know, 'cause when you're having an actual discussion, there gets to a point where, you know, your emotions, or something like this, where your emotions, you know, they get the better of you, and you kind of snap, right? But it's not every sentence, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. The dialogue was kind of, it was kind of a little too like TV dramatic for me. Now I get where they're going with this. It's supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to be like, I guess it's supposed to be played like a telenovela. Which, if you don't know what a telenovela is, it's essentially just a Spanish soap opera. So I mean, if you've seen like Days of Our Lives, was that General Hospital, stuff like that. Um, that's essentially what this book is, which I have no problem with. I enjoy a good soap opera every now and then. I haven't watched many in a while, but I watched some movies that are similar to this. Um, but yeah, but all in all, I think it's a very good issue, the first issue. Um, so yeah, I do have issue two. So that will be done tomorrow. I will read that, and then I'll give you my review for issue two. And then after that, at the end of the video, I will give my thoughts on whether I will actually continue this series. Because when I went to the comic book shop, they only had, I can only find two issues in there. So, you know, we'll see tomorrow. I'll read issue two, give my review, and then I'll let y'all know if I'm going to continue it. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Um, yeah, and let me know if you've read this or not, and let me know how far you've gotten in the series if you have read it. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.